Greetings and welcome to another one of my videos. I am Oasisvader and I will be showing you some of my trucks. Let's get on with the video. So this is what I call the RockStar. This is the two-door version. It's a very nice truck. I think it's one of my best creations so far. And it was based off of the Nissan Titan Warrior. It was only a concept vehicle, but it still looked very cool. The interior doesn't look so good, but the interior was not meant for functionality, only for aesthetics. Now I'm under the truck, let me get out. It is a two-seater vehicle. It has about 2 blocks of ground clearance. Yes, 2 blocks of ground clearance. And number 1 is for the door. Number 2, you have the trunk, so you can see inside the vehicle. Number 3 is the back. The tailgate is number 3. Oh, you can see it has quad exhaust in the back. 4 are the lights, the high beams, the headlights. 5 is the downforce, the thrusters, and 6 is it's its horn. It has its own horn. Pretty cool, pretty cool. And now let's go for a short ride. Door. Okay, there we go. Okay. So this has very simple, just suspension directly to the wheel. Has 4-wheel drive, not all-wheel drive, since it has no differential. But has 4-wheel drive, and the downforce really helps it in the cornering and staying on the ground whenever it goes off-roading. And so yeah, that's the 2-door version. Now let's go to the 4-door version. And by the way, in order to get out of the truck, you actually get stuck inside the hood. Well, usually you get stuck inside the hood, but this time I didn't. I bounced out. But there's a button on the hood that you press and it opens up. This is the 4-door version. It's still quite nice. It's not as good for off-roading because it doesn't have... It's much longer. When you go off-roading, you don't want a really long wheelbase. You want a really short wheelbase. But it's still pretty good. Most of these trucks are for civilian use, you could say, because they don't really have that much ground clearance. They only have 2 blocks, and each block is about 6 inches, meaning that it's about only 1 foot of clearance, which isn't really that much. It really isn't that much for a truck. And now moving on to the next version. And so now we have some 2 other versions of the RockStar. These are called the X versions. The main difference of these is that they have something that covers the bed. I call it a cab. They have like this cab thing over here that covers the bed. And it has a unique look to it, at least in my opinion. It looks less trucky and more like an SUV or a van. And so now let's move to the next 2 versions. And so these are the 2 other versions. This is the van version of the RockStar. You can see I took out the things that went around the wheel, the little mud flap things, I don't know what they're called. And over here in the back, you can see that it's a lot less gray, a lot more blue, this car. And I should have put a button there to activate the back, but if you go inside, you can activate the trunk. Let's see. I think it's 5? Nope. 4? 4 is the lights. 3 is the back. Oh, and the lag spiked for some reason. But you can see that the tailgate opens out in the back and the other part opens up in the top. Since it is just an extension, that's the way it opens. And you can see I added some seats in the back. So this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 8-seater. This is an 8-seater car, which is very cool indeed. I wasn't able to put much more seats because of the wheels. The wheels take away a lot of space in the back. Moving on. And so now we have the RockStar Hauler Edition. So this vehicle only has one block of clearance, because at the time I thought that was a good idea. Not really a good idea when it comes to a large pickup truck, even if you are just going to be towing things. Each wheel is on a separate bearing, yes, so it does give this truck a lot more power. So instead of being 4-wheel drive, it is technically 6-wheel drive. Still not all-wheel drive since it has no differential. And so, yeah, that's the big thing about this truck. It just has more power. But the problem I didn't foresee when I was doing this is that the wheels, they drag against the body, and so it makes it a lot slower, even though it is supposed to be a towing vehicle, which, if it has more power, should not be going slower, especially if it has the same amount of weight. And so finally we go on to the last and final version of this truck. And so now we have this beast. It is not my best off-roader, but it's still pretty good. And this thing has 3 blocks of clearance, so about 1.5 feet of clearance. 1.5 feet of clearance on the bottom. The suspension is now yellow, and so are the tires. I was a bit more lazy when it came to this truck, because, you know, this is one of the last trucks I was making, so I didn't do so good on it. But when it comes to functionality, that's what this truck is all about. It's all about the functionality. So now, I'm gonna take this thing off-road. 5 is for the downforce. I'm gonna take this thing off-road. There's a little ditch over there, so I can show you guys how well this thing drives. So this is a very fast off-roader. See how, look at how it absorbs all that shock, and look at the little hills over here, how it's gonna just overtake these hills. Very nice indeed. And so when you have a truck like this, you want to do this test. Let me show you what test is. Basically, you put the lift under the wheel and see how much. Oh wait, no, that's not what I want to do. I want to do this. So this really isn't a good truck for rock climbing, but this is a pretty good truck for just overall off-roading, going over hills and sand dunes, stuff like that, because it has really stiff suspension. So anyways, that is it for this video. There are some more vehicles that are coming up soon. Tell me in the comments what you guys would like to see, because I am working on some better suspension, some better steering, some overall better quality vehicles. And if you want to see more videos like this, subscribe if you like what you saw, and then hit the like button. And if you want to be notified every single time I upload a video, make sure to hit the notification button. Have an amazingly blessed day, guys, and see you later.